Hi, good morning. Your video is missing, which is wild. Hold on, there you go.
What?
I got you. No, I lost your video for a second, but I got you back.
Hmm.
Hi, good morning. Is it morning?
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Um, it's, you know, whatever time that I start work is morning. Um, and whatever time I choose to go to sleep, that is nighttime. If I go to sleep at 7:44 a.m., that is still nighttime.
I like your approach to good morning and good night.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
I feel like every time that I talk to you, I think that you are in Pacific Standard Time. So I like, even though
I
you're only
live
an
my
hour
life.
behind.
No, I live my life in Pacific Standard Time, regardless of the fact that I live in the Central Time Zone. And this is why I choose to work remotely and try to get people to just assume that I'm in Pacific Time. Because, like, I prefer, like, my favorite working hours are like 11 to 7. Like, and if I live in Central Time, working Pacific Time, that's 9 to 5 Pacific Time.
Facts. Um, so I think that's why I always say good morning to you, because I feel like it's like 1 o'clock my time, but like 11 o'clock your time. When in reality, it's really just 1 hour behind, and I need to get my. But now that I know that if you just woke up, that it's okay to.
It's still good morning.
It's okay. So good morning. Thanks for pulling up again. I am so proud of you for doing the thing and sticking to your initial concept, which is, I hope it's coming out the way you envisioned.
It is. I just, I want to deliver it to my clients sooner rather than later. So, but it is definitely coming out like the way I wanted it. I want to finish the tattoo font to have it as an option, but
Okay.
I think that we're going to go with either a serif or a sans serif, like something capitalized. Um, that
I,
just makes some sense for the actual logo.
I would like to hit that today, and do some font
Okay.
hunting for the sans serif part. If we have time, we could definitely go back and finish up those letters. Did you get this message from Twitter to tell you your likes are now private?
I know. I was so annoyed actually because I was just scrolling the likes of a crush like yesterday. I'm like, you're getting rid of it? But I but I need the information. But I how am I supposed to know what they're into without them telling me now?
You need to know. You need to know what your crush likes. You need to know who your crush is crushing on, and you can only find that out through the likes. I do not troll anybody's likes. I tend to look at who people are following just to kind of get an idea of like who they're into and where they're getting information from.
Yeah.
But I don't
That's
really
why I
look at
like the
likes.
likes because following doesn't really tell you, but who they're liking shows who they interact with the most.
That's a vibe.
Um,
So
they are
before we
getting
jump
rid of me being toxic.
before we jump into Jay's design, I just wanted to drop the socials hella quick, so that you guys can follow and subscribe to Jay everywhere.
Please.
Jay has a couple different handles, so be mindful of those. And we are multi-streaming, which means that you can catch this stream on YouTube. We're streaming on Jay's account on TikTok. We're on Twitter. We're on both of our IGs. So you want to definitely follow and subscribe. on my Twitch as well. Follow and subscribe on all of our socials so that you don't miss any of our collab streams and co-working streams. And this is what Jay and I would be doing on FaceTime that now we're kind of letting you guys in too.
Hey Bruno, welcome. We are yeah, so I think today I'm working on some hand lettering stuff and finishing up drawing this mirror. Joy, what are you going to be working on?
I am actually working on something that's not too glamorous. I can bring it over into I can bring it over into the viewport though. So I have custom designed a WordPress theme, and the client has just launched a brand new design for their jobs page. So this is what the jobs page looks like. And we actually had to do some extra meta boxes and add some new fields so that they could have this kind of like custom widget on the right side. And so I am going to be debugging this extra horizontal scroll that lives over here that we don't really know where it's come from. Looks like it's just a height issue on this content, maybe from this form. But so I'm going to debug that in another screen, since what Jay is working on is a little more glamorous. And thank you for joining, Gabriel. Hey, Olu. Thanks for pulling up. We are looking at Jay's iPad actually on the screen. And if you look at Jay's video, you can also see that Jay is like physically drawing this very ornate, original illustration inspired by some classic gold mirrors.
It's true. Oh, I should pull up the mirrors for reference. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, so let's see. We have VizRef Pro. I can open that up. And then there we go.
Here it is.
So ProCreate has like some, like you can put one image in as reference. But if you are an artist that uses ProCreate a ton, and you need like a full mood board, this app called VizRef Pro has existed long before ProCreate. Or not before ProCreate, but long before ProCreate made their reference tool. And it works better. So VizRef Pro is what I'm using to like split the screen and then show off.
And for everybody on Twitter, I'm just going to kind of move the screen to the center real quick. So this is the reference. So there are these 3 mirrors that actually exist in Jay's house. So you see this round one, and then Jay is also looking at all of this detail work on these other 2 mirrors. And so that's
one's actually my bed frame, but yeah.
Oh, fire. I forgot that it looked like that.
Yeah, it's like an ornate iron bed from, I don't know. My mom wanted to keep it in the family or something. It's like an old one.
All right, let me get my inspector open. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you guys a bunch of code to look at. But yeah, I think I probably have like 2 hours of CSS work before me today.
Real. I definitely have many hours. Hopefully not many hours, actually. I'm going to try to finish this up as fast as possible. I need to be done with it.
I was hoping to have this page ready to hand off to the client before close of business, and I should be able to do that. They're actually in Amsterdam right now, so I've got a little bit of time, but
oh, okay.
Meaning like their workday been ended, so they're not stressing.
Yeah.
So you have config coming up. Render is happening now too. I really want to try to go to render next year. It's more of a like black tech focus.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good.
But I think you and I would fit right
in. I would love to go.
I had passes, but to be honest with you, I really am a little exhausted from traveling.
You know, that is so fair. I've been traveling way too much recently, and it's kind of nice to be home for like 2 seconds.
Sleeping at home is the best.
Yeah, I described my bedroom to my friend the other day, and I was like, oh my God, it's so nice. It's like a hotel room, but everything is like something that you like and is made by you. And they're like, Jay, that's just a room. That's just your space. That's just. And I was like, yeah, but it's like a hotel room. But everything is customized to me. Anyway, so that's how I know I've been on the road too long. So when I start to forget that beds exist. Like, I'll come back home and I'll sleep on my couch because I'm just like, oh, I love sleeping on my friends' couches and my roommate's my friend, so I'll just sleep on the couch. Type shit.
I love that. I really, really sleep so peacefully at home.
Yeah.
So Spot hopped into the live and said he's trying to decide if he likes a Twitch stream or the IG live better. The Twitch is desktop view, so you're going to see all of the screen. Where on IG, you're just going to see portrait mode. And also YouTube live, but I think Twitch has literally the best quality. And we usually have more of a conversation. Like we monitor the Twitch chat. Excuse me. We monitor the Twitch chat. So we're
combined name. Yeah. Is that Jay in the mirror inspiration photo? It is me in the mirror inspiration photo.
Yeah, so you would have missed that on IG. And yeah. I'm glad you made the jump over to Twitch. I think Twitch is a really great place to watch gamers and creators make things. And I'm so glad that I finally joined the community. I met some really incredible devs and designers.
Yeah, the Twitch community is actually like really cool, and it's fun to like. Yeah, I've enjoyed. I will say DreamHack got a little bit wild with Kick versus Twitch fighting at the club.
So I have a Kick account. I find that the UX and the UI on the profile end is really buggy and not a pleasant experience. And so when I first did my first like dozen streams, I went live on Kick, but I haven't done anything to build community on there. What were some of the arguments you were hearing?
No, I mean that the people who streamed on Kick and the people who streamed on Twitch were paying the club people. You know how sometimes when you go to a club and there's bottle service and the bottle girls will bring out those big signs that are moving that are like you can change the words on them. Well, like one was like fuck Kick and one was like fuck Twitch, and then one said Kick and Twitch are both good, and and like people kept paying like back and forth, and then I left the club, but later apparently someone said a fight broke out. I don't know how true that is. But Amaranth was there.
For real?
Yeah, at the club.
So Twitch.
I was in her OnlyFans stream.
So Twitch is just, I think, so when it comes to monetization, from what I understand, Kick has a better monetization policy. And so, nah, we're not talking about that Kick. We're talking about, like, so that's some millennial shit you're talking about?
Not K-I-K, K-I-C-K.
No, correct.
To be
K-I-C-K
different.
is I'll link you to it. Kick is
their
a
brand
streaming
colors
app.
are like basically Cash App green.
It's this.
You didn't hear me say that. If any Cash App hiring managers are watching.
Oh, I have. How do I have 4 followers on Kick? That's funny. Maybe I should be going live on there. It's probably just the red lips. So the Kick is supposed to have a better monetization program for creators, and so I think when it comes down to it, if you wanna do this professionally and if you take your streaming really serious, you know, those few extra pennies or dollars or percentages that you get really matter. Mm-hmm. And so I do understand the passion behind it. The person that pulled me into streaming was a gamer, and he was streaming primarily on Kick. Like, I was watching a stream and I was like, yo, this is actually mad easy. Why am I not doing this? Like, all right, fuck it. I was like, all right, fuck it. Mm-hmm. It's funny. So we were playing Call of Duty. And he was like, yo, you guys, like, you're live. We're live. Like, and so he was streaming our gameplay. And the following day, which was kind of cool, the following day I was like, oh, let me go take a look at my gameplay on his stream. I go to watch the gameplay and he's live. So I turn on his live, and he actually was like talking to somebody kind of like off camera for a while, and we couldn't really see who he was talking to. And then eventually he brought the other streamer into like the collab cam, and he was talking to this really hot girl with bikini on, nothing else on. And he's like talking to her, and he's like, yeah, like, I want my name. Like, I want my name. And so, like, the conversation went from her kind of like shaking her tits in the screen to then twerking. And then within like 10 minutes, it got really saucy, and she grabbed a Sharpie and wrote his name on her thigh, like live on cam. And his audience was going fucking crazy, and I was like, okay okay, Kick. So that was kind of like my first kind of like understanding of like the streamer culture, you know, where it's kind of like,
yeah,
oh, all of a sudden now Spot knows what Kick is. All of a sudden.
I'm not seeing Spot's chat because he's not in Twitch anymore.
He's back in the live. So he said he's familiar with Kick from GTA, and that a lot of the OnlyFans girls, which he knows personally, have streams there. And he said that they were cutting checks. He said Kick is known for bikinis and ass shaking and mini pools in their bedrooms. And so yes, that is what I was exposed to, and I was just like, I know that my content is wholesome. However, let me just try to stream everywhere, and, you know, hopefully my community will find me.
No, Kick is great. I was hanging with one girl who was at the club trying to make her boyfriend jealous, and it was a bunch of Kick streamers. And I don't really know, but she was like all up kissing my hand, and I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but I will happily be used by you to make your boyfriend jealous, ma'am. What do you need water? You know how it is.
I you know what? I do know how it is. So Jackson, my love, my Twitch crush joined. He said, "Kick is where the unhinged hang out." Fuji, hi! Thanks for pulling up on IG. Come on Switch and join the conversation. Anyway, Spot is talking about he wants to judge the better stream. I feel that. I promise you, it's Twitch. I promise you it's Twitch, because I'm sure like the software that we're using, they absolutely want to optimize for Twitch more than anything else. That's where the majority of streamers are streaming. So the quality control is lit. Overflow Y hidden is what I need to put him right here. So yeah. What do you think about quality? And you're looking at this on your phone, Spot?
I'm just vibing.
Thank you.
Spot's out here. Oh no.
Running QA.
No. No.
What happened?
Wait, there we go. Okay.
Spot
I
is
thought
out here.
that one of my lines
is running QA testing.
Thanks, Spot. Appreciate you. I love that he's like multi-talented, you know, trafficking and quality assurance.
I'm actually frustrated that you joined, Spot, because we were really going to talk a little bit about some of the trafficking, and now that you're here, it's just not the same.
Jesus.
Yes.
What is life?
What is life? Top 133 pixels. What is life?
Yo. I don't know. I'm just trying to be out here living it. Shit.
I fixed the bug. If you're watching, client, the bug is fixed. All right, let's save this. I will let's cut from camera 1 to camera 2 here so you guys can see the page I'm working on.
Yeah, let's go, Joy.
Yeah, it's really cool, this job application page. I love how much information is here. I would maybe put some
oh my goodness
bold titles in here, but see what it looks like.
I love our like calm stream vibes. I feel like this might be like a sleepier like co-working stream. I know we've had some high energy ones in the past, but
so I'm playing live right now so that I can kind of focus, but now that I have accomplished my goal, I'm actually going to switch up the music a little bit and go back to alternative. Spot said
alternative, the music of my people.
Well, it's a little bit of that, a little bit of electronic, a little bit of dance, a little bit of so Spot said that he thinks that Instagram's color correction is better for the iPhone, which I could get down with. Is Aiden Ross on Kick? Fuji said that Twitch doesn't work when he's on Wi-Fi. It only really works when he's on data, which is wild. But thanks for hanging out on IG, Fuji. I always love seeing you.
Aww.
What are you working on, Fuji? What are you working on, Jackson?
Yeah, talk to us. Tell us what you're into. If you have any questions, or we are supportive co-workers.
For sure.
Remote work with us. This is a work stream. That's what we should call this shit. It's co-working.
I think I have that tag in there, and when I tell people about it, I say that we're co-working.
Or like body doubling, maybe.
Don't get Spot excited.
What?
Okay, so are you reading? Are you reading the Twitch chat, Jay?
You
I'll read it to
I'm
you.
basically a first-person journalist.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're designing can labels. I love, so Jackson posted this really cool design on LinkedIn earlier. So he actually, one of his very first logo projects, which he did, I guess, right out of school, he showed what the logo project was. And I think it's been like 7 years or something like that. And so he redesigned it. And he's like, is this a good idea or am I like totally unhinged? Let me find it. And I think that's really cool. I find that whenever I'm going to like work on my portfolio, sometimes I like tweak designs ever so slightly. And I'm like, if I could have my way, this is what it would look like. But I love the idea of going back to old work and saying, this is what I would do if I got the project now.
Damn.
I
Yeah, it's nice to like refresh and like show off like how you've grown and like we have grown like a ton. Like even in the time that I've known you, both of us have like really found like specializations in design that we didn't do when you and I met, in good ways.
Kawhi, thanks for joining. Unique, always beautiful to see you. Shout out to everybody in Brooklyn. I just put Jackson's post up on the screen. So let's see if I can zoom into here. Fire. So this is the original one from 2022. Oh, maybe it wasn't 7 years. This is the original one from 2022. And then this is the new one. And then he showed some kind of like iterations here. So, yeah. Have you guys like ever gone back to an old project and said, this is what I would do now? I think it's really good design practice.
I should bust out like my earliest logo design before I really knew anything about the grid and like see like if I was redoing it.
He said that the client is still using the old logo, and I think that could be a way to drum up business if you go back and redesign the logo and say, hey, I'll sell this to you, Like I did this because I was inspired, but if you would like to purchase it, you can have it for, a nominal fee of $10,000.
Real.
Thanks for the encouragement, Spot. Thank you, Spot. Jay, Spot said you look really cute working and that I look really pretty and I would make a great radio host. I have heard that before. I've also heard that I would be a great sexy GPS. As far as the radio is concerned, there's not really a lot of money in it. And I think that's the only reason why I haven't entertained it. I've been invited to a couple radio shows, one most recently in Philly, and it's just like you use the radio as a means to build community and like build notoriety, but you've got to go make your bag somewhere else.
It's a passion event that doesn't make any money.
Yeah. And it's tough in tech because in tech you make money.
Yeah, it's really hard once you do tech to go back to anything else because nothing pays the way tech pays. Yeah, like my friends are like, come do music, do something that doesn't treat you like shit. And I'm like, I could do music, but I would have to cut my salary like by 2/3. So it's just not fiscally worth it.
And then I just come to every table and I drive a pretty hard bargain because I understand what my waking hours are worth.
Mm-hmm.
And all right, let's switch.
Yeah, once I started pricing myself the way like a white dude named Matt would price himself, I slowly just took off.
Where is
I
Matt?
was like, I don't know. One of the Matts.
One of the Matts.
I've had 2 or 3 creative directors named Matt in my short career. Already.
Jackson, you're always trying to donating some work. Jay is always trying to trade hours for work. I'm not fucking with that shit. You both need management.
Yeah, you're right.
Spot is saying that sponsorships would pour in if I got into radio, because people love a face and a voice.
Yeah, but people don't see a face in radio. That's why people tell
They do
people,
now.
oh, you have a great face for radio.
They do now, because all the radio shows, you usually can see them on YouTube or on their websites, the video of it.
That's
almost
fair.
Yeah, for sure. Spot is saying some drugs compete with tech for sure. Oh my god, I am sure that I made more in tech last year than you made not trafficking drugs. And I did not get treated like shit. I mean, it's a high stress job, but what you're doing is building software for human beings. It's something that you have to take seriously and you have to be meticulous about, and you got to be serious about.
And it's also not like real world consequences too. Like,
Right.
if you get a bad design, no one's gonna die from it. Well, that's not true. If you have a bad design and you work in like car UI design, people could die. But medical too. Yo, someone was telling me that they worked at the hospital and it got hacked recently.
What?
And they've had to and it would have been $22 million for the hospital chain to get their records released. And because they didn't pay it, they had to not use electronics in the hospital for a month. They had to do all of the blood tests for lab testing by hand.
That's wild. And of course you would know one horror story because that's who you are. It's funny that we literally were just talking about you, Matt. And then Jay was like, one of the Matts, were you here for that?
Hey.
Jay was like,
hello, is this working? Yes. And we are working.
Jay was like, whenever we're trying to figure out how competitive we should be pricing our bodies and our working labor in tech industry, Jay's like, how they make sure that they think about, like, if their name was Matt, what would they charge?
If I was a white dude named Matt.
Yeah.
Would I not apply for this because I think I'm not good enough? No, I would apply for it because I think the world is handed to me on a silver platter. So I'm just going to apply to it anyway.
Period. And then I think we said, like, yeah, one of the Matts.
I just want a confidence
and then you
of a
pulled
white
up.
dude named Matt. And then you pulled up.
I
don't know if you're white, but
Matt is a white dude, but he is a fucking G. He's gangsta. He's got stories for days, bro. He been in these streets.
we all have.
You were summoned. I'm so happy to see you. I played your voice for Jay. Like, what was it, yesterday? I was like, listen to Matt's voice.
I don't remember those.
You probably thought it was just, that I just have so many sexy men just leaving me voice notes to check in on how my day is. But yeah, Matt has fucking stories, yo. Matt got me into watching The Bear. Have you seen The Bear?
Yes.
Lit, right?
Yes.
Matt was trying to explain
I like
to
it a
me.
lot, but it's because I like the actor from Shameless.
He's pretty sexy.
Jeremy Allen White. He's all right. But then someone pointed out he looks the same as the guy who played the original Willy Wonka. And their face structure is very similar.
So?
I'm not really into Willy Wonka like that, though.
Yeah, Matt is a former chef. He's a really incredible cook, and And so he was just trying to explain to me what the life is like, right? And so we were like talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And then it was like, Joy, you should watch The Bear. It's like, Joy, you should watch The Bear. And I'm like, should I now?
It really is like, it just, I think The Bear stressed me out a lot because it reminded me of working in food service. But some people like that.
And Matt, I'm also hunting for divs. Did you see I tweeted div hunting? Every time that I open up the freaking IDE, I'm like, div hunting. This is a dev only thing, Jay.
Div hunting.
Div hunting.
I don't think it's a dev only thing. Sometimes I have to find the div block when I'm like, these two arrows are 500 pixels apart, but they look like 1 pixel off. And then they always are. And then I have to go into the developer tools and go div hunting. Fair.
This is where I'm at, div hunting right now, Matt. Check it out. Here's some porn for Matt.
Div hunting.
Here's some porn for Matt. This is the equivalent of me shaking my titties and ass on Kick. Is me showing Matt an IDE.
Ooh, yeah, girl. Show us that code.
It's not working though. I think it's because
oh yeah, those 720 pics by 14 pics.
I think I need to clear the cache. Here's some more code, Matt. Take a look at it. Yeah, it didn't. I have to actually fucking clear the cache like at the server level.
You've got this.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, wait. Spot is in the zone. Actually, the Secret Service agent that arrested me 8 years ago. His name was Matt. He was pretty gangster, all things considered. His testimony actually got my case dismissed because he didn't lie about what he found and seen during the raid.
The shirt that says Div Hunter.
Right. I love the dichotomy of this conversation. I could make this shirt. I could make the Div Hunter shirt. I could actually turn it over very quickly.
Yeah. We do. I use Printful for everything that I want to get drop shipped.
Oh, I don't need to do that, but that's cute.
Oh, right. You have
shout out to everybody who uses Printful. Lit.
Look, we can't all just have screen printers on tap, okay?
Embroidery, screen printing, you name it.
Look, live your truth.
Jay's using an iPad, and ProCreate is the application.
Yeah, no, this is just a normal ass iPad, but I did put a paper white screen protector on it, so it feels like a paper texture, which is really nice to draw on. So it has a matte finish on like a normal iPad.
Matte, not matte.
Yeah, M-A-T-T-E. Don't think you're special. Or whatever. Damn, this is the first stream in a while I haven't had my titties out.
Oh, your titties are in the mirror though. That's why Spot is here. That's why Spot is on Twitch, because he can see your titties on Twitch. Yeah.
It's true. My titties are out on Twitch right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about it?
Come on, Cash. Come on, Cash. Clear cookies inside data. Remove. Go away. So I'm gonna take 5 minutes to show the config agenda, and let's unpack it.
Please. Let's talk about it. Yeah, I really wanna. Yeah.
So config is happening in San Francisco, June 26th and 27th. I will likely not be there. I don't know. Anything could happen between now and then. I do have tickets, but we'll figure it out. I'm not trying to couch surf like Jay is. So this is, I was trying to get down to the agenda. See full agenda. Take a look at some of the sessions.
Ooh, yeah, because I need to know what to go to while I'm out there.
All right. Products launch. The human algorithm. Interesting. Building and the craft of Figma. Imaginations at play. Building for developers. Simon Green from Disney Lit. I would probably go to either the human algorithm or imaginations at play. Yeah. Enhancing product experience. Next year. So they have like an AI track. There's a building products track, a design craft track, and then a dev and code track, which is so smart. Last year it was pretty wild because some of the really great sessions were completely overflowing the first day, and they had to like move sessions to bigger rooms, which was so cool. There were so many people there. Okay, enhancing product experience with AI. It was amazing. Elevating products for a global experience. Design quality and brand legacy. That's you, Jay. Bringing delight to everyday apps. Are you going to go to any of the AI?
I don't know. So can you show... So we've got design quality and brand legacy under design craft, but building products. And so
that was for devs. Yeah.
Building products is devs?
Oh, no. But I don't know what building products is when you... Like, I think design is really just for creatives, and building products could be PMs, it could be founders, it could be COOs, it could be, right? Like CTOs. I think it's a different track. Understood. Okay. Finding companions in computers from Flash to Apple Vision Pro. Ooh, that's interesting. From keyframes to keycaps. That's me all the way. Extending Figma with the plugin API. Interesting. So they have the former CTO of Macromedia Flash, Jonathan Gay. Yeah, that's a vibe. I maybe would go catch the first half of that and then go to from keyframes to keycaps because I'm really into animation right now. All right, plugin API, snooze fest. Okay, staying human in the age of distraction. I'm good. Advocating and designing for human needs. Human-centered design and research. Should developers design? Instead of should designers develop? That's interesting. I maybe would go to that. I maybe would go to should developers design. I probably would meet some really great devs there. All right, let's look at June 27th. Oh, and the code worked, Matt. Oh, the code worked, Matt. And I got it done before 5 p.m. All right. Thank you. Design for everything keynote. This is an interesting lineup. I don't know any of these faces, which I love.
Oh, wow.
Inventor, robotics enthusiast, Simon Gertz. I wish they had people's socials in here.
Fucking real, though.
Scaling up design systems. I would go to that.
I need to go to that.
Yeah. New features, deep dive, identity and good design, building products and growing teams, snooze. Okay. And then...
Matt's like, no, devs shouldn't design. Also, yes, we should do a titty stream.
I don't think my titties are big enough for a titty stream. Design
Someone
systems
told me the other day I have a bubbly personality and titties. And I was like, thank you for noticing that I have tits. It wasn't nice tits. It wasn't good tits. It was just you have tits. So why aren't you into men? And I'm like, No. Get out of here.
So the 1230 is we've got 4 pretty interesting kind of like competing sessions. Design systems at scale. I feel like there's like a lot of this, but everybody has their own perspective of that. So that's interesting. Figma deep dives, design for the big screen. That one seems super interesting. And
like design
for the big screen, is it for movies? Is it for TV?
For film?
Is it for film? Right. So either one I think is important because I tend to do responsive testing of my websites on televisions as well. I just like to cover all bases when I'm doing my breakpoints. And but just the idea of working at, Hulu or Netflix or any of the streaming services and being able to design those UIs would also be interesting. So I probably would go to that. And then bringing the craft back to product. I'm okay on that one. And then design system insights and strategies, Figma new feature deep dive. Oh, the design system insights, Atlassian is doing that. They're the ones who create Jira. That would be an interesting person to hear from. Adopting foundations at scale. That's it lit. Okay, and then Eames and Team Lab crafting for the physical space. Oh, that's gonna be fire. Eames Institute. Really cool. Oh, that's fire. And then product management, building your own PM principles. Oh, there's going to be hella PMs in there. Beyond the hype, a critical look at design systems, 2 design stories. Oh, that's probably fun. Mm-hmm. From paper to pixels. That's what you're doing. Lenny's podcast live. Who's Lenny?
Lenny?
Yeah, it says Lenny's podcast live. And my computer just randomly froze. Oh, here it goes.
I don't know, but that makes me wanna do illustration more.
Oh, I was about to say we should do close and code while you're out there.
Oh yes.
And then the closeout. I think they're still putting together some. Well, there's a comedian. That'll be cute. This is cute. So I'm going to link everybody to the agenda. I would really love to see Matt at Config.
You're not going. But you want Matt.
I don't know if I'm going or not. I want Matt to go, period. I want Matt to thrive, period. Why is there... Okay, wait. I missed so much in the chat. Hold up. Joy, stop it. What did I do? Titty stream. Oh my God. Oh, so Spot is in Belize. He sees titties all day. But mine... Oh my God. I'm not saying that out loud. Cash Me Outside is another shirt idea. I would collab with you and I would press up these shirts, Matt, if you want to collab on Clause and Code and split, 60-40 me on the shirts. I'm with it.
Damn.
The no dev shouldn't design. I think that's a clear answer, but I do think that devs should understand some design principles. I love working with design engineers and engineers who have a bit of their own artistic aesthetic so that whenever there are gaps in handoff, that if they need to make an assumption on something to ship it quickly, that they make good choices.
And the thing is, one thing I've learned about design education, it's not gonna hurt to know more things, so might as well learn as much as you can. Shit.
All right, let's no, for sure. And I think as much of a powerhouse as I am because I code, I just think that design engineers are a really special bunch, and we really can bring a lot of value to companies. That's all.
Yes.
Whether it's SaaS, whether it's whatever.
Hire Joi.
Both. That too. There's only one Matt in here. Is there another
Only
Matt
one
in here?
Matt today.
There's only one Matt. You are the only
Today.
Matt.
Today.
You are the only Matt for me, Matt.
The only Matt that's important right now.
You're the only Matt for me. I love going in Asana to tell the client, it's finished.
And I sent it in Asana. I don't know why you weren't on top of it.
All done. Let me know how this feels. And if I can push to production. And then the more fun part is to go into Stripe and send the invoice.
Slay. Which Matt? You.
You are the only Matt for me. I only have eyes for one Matt.
I think designing for big screen could mean like. Can you hear me?
We can.
Just checking.
You sound amazing.
Thank you. So, when I was doing film stuff, a lot of what I would be asked to do is like design like a poster to be in the background on a set, or design like a wrapper for a beer bottle, or there's like doing UI screens that people see in like Westworld, like stuff like that. Is something I think about as well, is like but I don't think that that's what that session will be about, unless it's talking about like the UI screens that you see in movies.
It very well could be. It could be either. I mean, screens are getting bigger, period. I mean, when you look in people's studios, I do see people using Samsung frames, as their primary screen. And so I think it's important. I think it's important either way.
Yeah. You just don't know how someone's going to be looking at your website. So you want to design
Cover
as
all
many
bases.
variants as possible.
For real.
You don't want an Instagram on iPad situation. It's 2024 and there's still not an iPad Instagram app.
Still. I am happy that the desktop version, like the browser version of Instagram has definitely improved.
Yeah.
Because and so at least there's that.
For creators. Like, yeah.
The IG is frozen for me, at least on my screen. I don't know if it's really frozen or if it's just because I left
it's
the
not
tab.
Frozen. I'm watching it move right now.
Okay, good.
We do have a bit of a lag over there, but
yeah, it's better than being frozen. Lag I'll take. Let me take a look at Twitter. Good afternoon, everybody on Twitter. Thanks for pulling up. Tabby in the Oasis group chat. Thank you, Matt, for the like. Thank you, Glitchermilly, for the like as well on Twitter. The IG is frozen. Thank you for all the viewers. Did I miss anything on chat? Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the retweet, Matt. I appreciate you so much. You're amazing.
Everybody.
Yeah, you're amazing. In another life, Matt. In another life. All right. Why can't I find that draft invoice that I was working on? Where are drafts? Billing. No. So my work day is kind of like donezo after this. How are you doing?
You know, I'm working hardly working somewhere in there. Getting this.
I would like to do a live clause and code. It doesn't. So the conference is only 2 days, and there are so many sessions and so many people. It's thousands of designers and developers that it's not like you could be in the conference hall or whatever. But we could definitely find a location and do clause and code. Jay and I's equipment is totally mobile, and so we could, in theory, do that there. Hey Adam, hey Jordan, thanks for joining, y'all. But I also, Jay could be there and I could be here. So it's just a matter of finding a space. And we have a lot of friends in San Francisco.
It's true.
Shout out to Jem. Thanks for hosting us and taking us around the city last time. We had an incredible time. But yeah, we've got a lot of friends in San Fran. Fiona, Fee. Thank you for, the event that we did with Fee was so fire. So when we went to Config last time, Fee had done an event where we were all invited to co-create a zine. And so Fee booked this really cool cafe that's a co-working space, and there are like 6 or 7 different rooms, and each of the rooms have all these kind of little nooks and crannies, cafe tables and like long desks and all these little places that you can work. There's even this one kind of room off to the side that's just one huge bed. So it's just like all these places that you can kind of like work and collaborate. And we all built this zine, to design this zine together in real time, which was so fly. And that's kind of like a good segue to what we were talking about, where how like a lot of things that we do live in drafts when we're working in Figma. And now with the huge drafts fiasco, feels like it's a little bit of a scandal.
Raji made like a space for freelancers and agencies to like talk about the drafting, and I brought up the zine. I was like, all of the things that made Figma great were the community, and like making a zine with all of my design friends. Like we can't do that anymore.
I'm glad that you did. Let me get in there. I am grateful that Raji made the community, and so we have a place to talk about more than just drafts, because there are a lot of changes that happen that we kind of get left out about. But yeah, what was the response in the group when you said that?
He didn't say anything.
Wow.
But I don't really know how to get like in there to like check responses regularly. It's kind of like a weird.
You've got to go into your communities. I don't think that
Twitter has figured out the use case for.
Yeah, you just go to communities, and then you go to my communities. So over here on the left, you have communities. It's literally the second thing, and then when you click on communities, it shows you all your communities. And so Figma's is called Figma Freelancers and Agencies. You can also pin them.
Yeah.
But you're saying I can't easily, it's a timeline, so it's not like I could easily find your message in there.
You might be able to. I think he asked on that.
Glitcher, thanks for the retweet.
Thank you, everyone, for just hanging out.
Thank you, Adam. I don't know if I said hi before. I think I did. Adam and Jordan, thanks for pulling up on IG. I'm gonna definitely comb. There's so many changes that have happened. Like when I joined, I think there were less than 20 of us in the group. So I've got to see what the conversation is like in there. But I'm glad that you spoke up, and collaborating on that zine was so cool. I was relatively new to Figma when I came to Config. I don't even really think I started working with components yet. I had just kind of like I was just creating responsive screens. And we were at the point where we were getting ready to deploy for beta at the SaaS that I was working with. And so I learned so much at the conference. But the highlight of that visit, other than like going to the museum with you and like sitting in the park and like, you know, was, and kicking it with Jem, of course, was like the zine, being around a bunch of designers and just designing for design's
for
sake.
Fun.
Yeah, for
Not
funsies.
for any reason other than
For funsies.
vibing.
For funsies, yeah. So yeah, we've just got to stay vocal and collaborative, and I'm sure that there will be changes that come down the pipeline for sure. So Matt said if we do a clause and code at config, he will definitely retweet. And Matt, I appreciate your support in every way. Like Matt, not only has he encouraged me like whenever I'm like looking for new work or whatever, but I think he also, you know, not only shares the lives, but he also gives me really good critical feedback on how I can improve. And I just,
that's really nice.
I
You
live
need
in
people
your
that
debt.
can give you feedback in like ways that you can receive it.
Yeah.
It's always
Portia,
important to have people
hey.
like that around.
I cannot find an invoice that I drafted, and it's driving me crazy. Because Stripe has a very clean UI, so the fact that I can't find... Oh, they have an invoices section. The fact that I can't find it is making me feel stupid. Okay, I found it. They had an overflow menu, and I was clicking on like payments and balances and billing, but in the overflow menu was a specific invoice nav item, and I had to go there. Okay, great. Let's edit this up. So yeah, I love the idea of traveling and taking clause and code wherever design exists in conference form, or the tech conferences and shit that we go to, but also when we travel. Jay was just in Dallas, and when we had done, we did 2 episodes, and 1 episode we did 8 at 9 while you were in Dallas, and that was a vibe.
Yeah, we did 2 or 3 streams while I was up there at Lindsay's desk, and it was really, really nice. Just she has a good space, and it was nice to just spread out and like really get to work.
Shout out to Lindsay and Lindsay's cats. Thank you for hosting Jay. Your fucking loft is absolutely incredible. I felt so inspired by Lindsay's art wall that I'm absolutely gonna kind of redesign and get rid of this mural that's behind me and do something a little different back here too. But yeah.
Yo, that's so real. Like, it made me want to like put all of my stuff in a stream background.
Yeah. Not 100,000, but the work that I did just now was pretty technical because we have groups of custom fields for different post types, and the post types are classified by categories. And so different category posts have different templates, and then we have different fields for those templates, and those show up in the widgets. And so we have these meta boxes, and going, and yeah, there's so many things that I can make a mistake with when I am designing, so or developing. So I had to be really, really meticulous. And the first day that I touched it, I kind of like didn't have my shit together and kind of like ran into 3 or 4 bugs. And then finally, by the 3rd night of sleep, I figured it out and got it to work. Jay, I cannot hear you, but that's because I lost my headset. Let me try to connect it and reconnect it. Hey, X Games. So the last time that I went to config, my company did pay for it. What I did was I initially asked them if I could go, and the CEO asked me to give him a pitch. He basically gave me like a charter of things that the company wanted to accomplish, period. And he said, let me know how attending this conference fulfills our company's goals. And so I went and took a look at Config's agenda items, and then picked which sessions I felt mostly aligned with the goals of the SaaS as well as the goals for my personal development, sent it back to him as well as a budget. And I got it approved. So they covered my trip last year. This year, I actually hired a designer whose partner works at Figma. And so they gifted me 2 passes. I think I ended up asking for 4, and they were going to get back to me because I wanted to take Tabby and Jay. But they gifted me 2 passes. So I just would really need to figure out flights and a hotel if I wanted to go. And then, the benefit of that is not only kicking it with Jay, but getting to meet some people that work at Figma, which is a vibe. So yeah, X Games, you have to ask. But your pitch should include how, the specific sessions that you want to attend align with the company's mission, and then try to do some of the hard work for them, meaning, find the hotel. The Config website has hotels that they pick. So find a hotel, find a flight, put together a little budget, with your per diem of how much it's going to cost for you to eat, and then try to send that all in one package. And yeah, I maybe spent like an extra $1,000 while I was there. That wasn't included in the company money. But it was nice to at least have my flights and the hotel and the conference taken care of. Jay, can you hear me, babe? It's not like you are fine. I'm actually reading you. I just can't hear you because I lost my audio. Let me see if I can get it to connect. I don't need to hear you, but I don't want to talk over you. So there's that. I'm going to pull the video just for a second to see if I could trigger the audio back for myself. Oh no, I don't think I can get audio back. Let me reset you on stream really quick, Jay. Hold on. All right, I put you back on. All right, let's see. Yo. Nope. Can you, I'm not getting any audio for Jay at all. Can you guys hear Jay? Because I see my mic and I see Jay's audio, but I don't. Oh, Jay's resetting. I appreciate you, baby. Thank you. Thanks for being patient, y'all. Okay, here's Jay. Yo,
I refreshed. Can you hear me now?
no, I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear you. Let me share the source
How do
again.
you... X Games asks, how do you balance out freelance and working a 9 to 5?
And I can hear you now.
You can? Hello.
I can.
Hello.
Do you want to take
Good.
that question first?
Yeah, so how do you balance freelance and working a 9 to 5? So right now, Jay, goodness, I'm Jay. Joy and I are both freelancing full time. When I am working a 9 to 5 and also freelancing, sometimes what I'll do is I'll do my 9 to 5 and then I'll design on freelance from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And so I'm working on it an hour every day, but I try not to take more than 5 hours of freelance a week because, like, I want to live my life. But sometimes it's hard and sometimes your clients have deadlines. So it really just, you work weekends, whatever. I try to not take on freelance as much when I have a 9 to 5 because I just don't need it. Like, my 9 to 5's pay. Freelance is really just I'll do stuff for friends while I'm working a 9 to 5, but that's about it. Unless the project is really, like, witchy or like something that's going to be in my style or like it's a trade that I really want. But if it's not worth my while, I'm not going to do it.
So, I agree with everything that you said. My contract, my most recent full-time contract was a little different where so long as we did 40 hours a week, there was no set hourly schedule. And so I used to also block my meetings on days where possible. And so I had some flexibility. Sometimes I was doing SaaS work on the weekends. Like, if we had a big drop, and I had to hand over things to devs on a Monday and, my juniors were turning in UI to me on Thursday and Friday, I still wanted to take a couple hours to do that work over the weekend. So, but I also can, like, take a Tuesday off, right? I also, like Jay, kept my freelance hours to less than 10 hours a week. I really like working on Sundays. I always have. I just think it's a nice quiet day where I don't have notifications flying at my face, and it makes it really easy for me to zone out and, like, not have, Notion and Asana and Slack like killing me. And so it's natural for me to work on Sundays. I tend to prefer mornings to evenings. So yeah, I'm not into like going to work for full time and then, trying to do 1 or 2 hours in the evening. I would either kind of switch up my schedule or I would just work on Sundays. And I didn't really have any issues with burnout, but that was because the freelance clients that I kept on were people that treated me really, really well and respected my time. And it was work that I genuinely enjoyed doing.
Real.
Which is also very important.
So important.
Yeah, collecting clients. Thank you for confirming, Spot, that audio on IG. Okay, good. I'm glad that we got audio back. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been a pretty long day and I had some running around to do after the gym. So my AirPods are just tired of me at this point.
No, that's so real.
But I'm glad that I got you back. Shout out to the 60 viewers that we had on Twitch. I think this is our most highest attended Twitch stream, which is fun.
Wow, look at us moving up in the world.
Yeah.
We're famous.
And X Games, tell me, how did you find us?
Oh, yeah. No, burnout's so real. I ended up in the hospital at my last job.
Are you comfortable talking
burnout.
about it?
Yeah. So basically, like, I like work was so stressful, and I have generalized anxiety, so my body takes stress um just really hard, and I had been working 12-hour days for over a month, and also weekends, um because they'd asked me to do a project that was 3 months, and then they shortened it to 1 month. But the project really should have taken like a year. um and I was so stressed because I was worried that I was going to lose my job that I ended up in the hospital, um throwing up from chronic anxiety and not being able to like keep food down because so much nausea. So my body like really takes stress, and the hospital people were like, "We don't think it's food poisoning. Are you stressed out but for any reason?" And I'm messaging people in Slack saying, "I'm just getting an IV right now. I'll join the Zoom call in a minute." So, you know, when workplaces aren't respecting your body and your bodily autonomy, that's when it's time to go.
And
Because
so
your health is more important than their deadlines.
one thing that I also would like to kind of like mention is I was able to see, because Jay and I had gone to Art Basel. So Jay was here in Tampa with me for a couple days before we went to Miami. And so Jay was able to see, you know, me taking meetings, me working in Figma, and like my work-life balance, right? Like, when do I cook and when do I make breakfast and when do I make my smoothie, right? And I got to see Jay and how Jay works too. I found that maybe also because I'm a senior UX, and Jay, even though Jay is senior brand, Jay was still reporting to design, like a design lead, or was it a product lead?
I was reporting to the web team, so the web
Okay.
team was like a product-led style, and then I was also reporting to the brand design team.
So I felt like Jay's meeting cadence was excessive. And so Jay's dedication to productivity is wild, because Jay was like working from the car, like working in every room, like we were not hanging out. Like, Jay was here, but we were both working. But Jay was like, it was like meeting. Not even just like a meeting with one person or like a quick Slack call. It was like, no, these are like, look at my schedule. It's all meetings. And I think that is not an indicator of a collaborative, well-performing team when 80% of your workday is meetings with a large group of people.
And especially when it's like, I'm a designer, right? I had the least amount of meetings of anyone on our team.
That's wild.
And you saw how many meetings I was in.
And you were in a lot of
And
meetings.
I was also like, when do I have time to design? And I would tell them that. And I'm like, you guys gave me a month to do this, but I'm in meetings 20 hours a week. So I'm only getting to design on this part-time unless I stay late. And that's why I was doing 12-hour workdays for over a month.
And so I think that another piece of the puzzle that is a misconception that's so far-fetched and sad is that, you know, and I'll just be personal. Like, I had an ex-boyfriend who would say, you know, when I do my work, it's manual labor and I'm knocking down walls and I'm doing this and that and the third, and you're just at the computer. And so I think there's a misconception that when you're working in tech, or when you're working digitally, or when you're coding or designing or project managing or whatever, that the workload is less because you're not physically getting up and sitting in a cubicle, right? But the reality is your commitment to the quality of your work and the commitment to the product and the kind of time that you have to contribute to create something incredible that humans are going to find delight and want to use every day requires an intense focus that doesn't cut off. So it doesn't cut off like when the meetings end. It doesn't cut off when you lay down and go to bed. It doesn't cut off when you wake up in the morning. It doesn't cut off when you wake up in the middle of the night. Like, you never stop solving design problems. Ever.
No.
And everything that you see, you're picking inspiration and saving things and cataloging things and like sketching things. And it just, if you are building software, you work every single day. If you're in design. Development is a little different, but I find with development, whenever I hit a roadblock or have bottleneck, I go to sleep and I wake up and I have the answer. Where for design, sometimes I need to like go quite a few days. I need to work. I need to go have quite a few nights of sleep in order to, find the solution. Or it might take weeks and iterations, and then I have to get buy-in, from everyone on the team, and I have to pitch myself and sell. So, the fact that Jey went through such a drastic and painful and unacceptable, episode of burnout, is really a lesson to me. And it should be a lesson to like any designers who are getting into tech to understand that you really have to make sure that you put yourself first and that you use your PTO. And that no matter what kind of deadlines are set, sometimes you have to be firm about how long it's really going to take to turn over quality work.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
I like how Spot said you should have a vacation per day.
Just having meeting free days. Just having meeting free days to me, just having 1 to 2 or 1.5 meeting free days is more than enough for me to not feel burnt out.
Yeah, I have to protect my meeting free time because I need to just have time to just no one talk to me. I don't need to be online. And that's why I like designing after hours, because no one would be online so I could actually get fucking shit done, because I need to not be answering Slack messages every 2 seconds and be in meetings. I need to be able to just sit down and have uninterrupted design time for 2 hours. Just let me work. Because I haven't had a chance to work, how am I going to get your project done?
And turning off your brain is a really important thing, Spot. Getting really good sleep, having a dark room, having really soft bed sheets, having a firm bed. One of my friends, when I was buying my mattress, was like, bitch, you get the Bentley of mattresses. Get the fucking Casper Element. Like, and I was like, okay, I'm trying to find a deal. And it's just like, nah, get the best one. And I am grateful to her every day because I sleep so well. And so, yeah, getting a good night's sleep is important. Jey, Spot has some kind words for you. He said he's happy that you were able to bounce back and you are your own star player, and we know that Jey is a star.
Thank you so much. That means like a ton. Truly, the only reason that I'm bouncing back is because Joi is keeping me on task. Like, I and Joi and then my other friends in my real life in like Austin that are like helpful, because good Lord, I'm like, I don't want to apply for jobs. I don't want to be unhappy again, is what I told my friend. Is why I hadn't been applying to that many jobs. And they were like, Jey, you need to be able to pay for groceries and not put them on a credit card. And go get a job.
You also have to try to not be so jaded and have so much PTSD from one bad professional experience that it stops you from dating again. You know what I mean? You've got to go out and meet clients, and you've got to go out and interview, and you've got to polish your portfolio, and you've got to, edit your resume, and you've got to. So X Games
gets it.
He does, and he found, I hope you are but X Games found So saw you doing the mirror design and got interested in Join. So thank you for finding it interesting, and thank you for taking a chance on us. We are very new streamers. This is actually our 10th stream together. So we're really trying to do some of our co-working and collab work live. We would normally be doing this on FaceTime. So
yeah, Joi and I FaceTime all the time to just body double, get homework, like get our work done.
So X Games says he does his best work when everybody logs off. X Games, what do you do? What's your discipline?
Real.
And we're gonna ignore Spot
does
fucking
have
for
some
hours.
Points. Honestly, though, Spot is right. If you want to have the energy to be able to fuck for hours, what you have to do is sleep 8 hours a day and eat 3 meals a day and work out and take care of your body so that you have the energy to be able to fuck a long time. You know what? I agree with Spot. I know this is a professional stream, but I agree with Spot.
All that.
Be intentional when I apply for these companies. Yes, X Games, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to not apply to role unless I know the person or have a referral, because realistically, I just don't know if I'm gonna get past the paywalls. But I had a really good interview yesterday with a place that I'm really excited about. So we'll see. I need to send out more than 3 resumes though.
That's important. I think there is no magic number, but when my mentor told me to send out 100 applications and then get back to him before he was going to support me with copy editing my portfolio, I did that in 2.5 days, and it changed my bandwidth for applying for gigs. Now I can just easily apply to 20 or 30 or 40, like a mixture of, remote work, freelance, and like full-time gigs. And I just do it. It's just what I do. And so I think your bandwidth will increase once your portfolio is where you want it to be. Because after you did,
That's what it is.
After you helped me sexy up my resume, bro, I be spamming that shit out. Like, it'd be 2 a.m. and some shit'll just run across my fucking email and I'll be like, oh, boop, sent it, right? Or I'll open up a bunch of tabs, and as soon as I get up in the morning, I'll apply to them all. Like, I'm constantly prospecting.
Real.
And X Games, you're right. It's important to be intentional. He's a project manager, which is fire. What is your drug of choice? Is it Notion? Is it Asana? Is it Jira? Tell us more.
Ooh, yeah.
And then Jay, if you want to read all of Spot's porn, you're welcome to.
Look, Spot, that's on you for not taking a nap. Shit. All I'm saying is I'll stay up till 8 a.m. I don't give a fuck how tired I am.
So
sounds like Spot has some personal problems.
X Games wants to get into design and doesn't know where to start. So my first question. So first of all, you've come to the right place. This is a safe space. But also, are you an artist in a traditional sense?
Yeah, like what are we starting with? Do you know development? Do you do art? What kind of design are you wanting to get into? Brand design, product design? What are we talking? And
if you have a website, feel free to just drop it in the chat, and we will
drop it in the chat. We'll review
checks it out. It does apply to all facets of life. You are correct.
Jira, not by choice. Oh, okay. So you work with engineers.
So it's interesting. It's interesting that we were looking at the config sessions, and Atlassian, who owns Jira, who's created Jira, they have a session coming up. They have an entire project management track, which is pretty fire. But yeah, Jira is absolutely like just not a good time. It's just not a good time. It is I have a horror story, but I'm not going to share it. What I will say is that I genuinely love Asana. And I think that I understand that there are a lot of different custom states that you can place a ticket in when you have Jira, and devs tend to love that. However, the UI and UX in Jira is so poor that I feel like if you are bringing your team in to use any software to create anything for your company, if that experience sucks, then their work experience sucks, and the product that they create ultimately will take a bit of a hit. And so
It's true. I don't like using products that don't look pretty. I don't like reading books without pretty covers. I will go buy a different book with a different cover.
one of the things that I find frustrating about Jira specifically is just that it just doesn't update in real time. And so, in Asana, we can respond to each other. We can update a title or a description, and everything is happening real time. You don't have to refresh the page. It's all happening as if you're on Slack or something like that. But so yeah, so you enjoy making cartoons. Do you do that by hand, or what software do you use? And let me follow you, X Games, because I'm becoming increasingly more interested in who you really are. I'm afraid to follow Spot. That'll
Encourage them.
Yep, that'll encourage him. I guess Spot is on vacation right now. I love how you skipped
real long nap.
I love how you skipped over all the Mexican cartel comments.
How did I miss those?
They're
every comment.
They're just above the fold, bro. But yeah, X Games, tell us about your medium of choice. We're interested. We are interested.
See, I don't really think that I would enjoy the work-life balance of working at a cartel. Because I wouldn't want to get fired.
So
this is what I'm learning.
You do the work by hand. Do you have a portfolio that you're open to sharing? The last thing on earth that I want is for you and Spot to have a deep dive conversation of what cartels are really like. Because according to Spot, they're not like what you see in the movies. They're not like all that scary. And it's just part of how the community polices itself. And so...
What happened to no more dev chat?
Listen,
you didn't like our Jira.
If you want... Talking about Jira, do you use Jira at work? Of course you do, Matt. You use Jira, right? It's so cool to have a PM in here. That's such a vibe. Yeah, X Games, if you have a portfolio or anything you'd like to share with us on IG or whatever, we would love to see where you're at artistically.
Yeah, we're nerds. We love to rate and review different artists.
Okay.
Like and subscribe.
And so do you understand all the different design disciplines in, I'm assuming, like designing software? Do you know the differences? I guess you do because you're in PM, right? Depending on how big your team is. I'm out of green juice, which makes me sad.
Damn. That reminds me I gotta drink my smoothie. Thank you.
What's right?
I've never heard of Rake.
It is this, everyone.
Asana, Trello, and Monday.com were the last. Or Asana and Monday. I feel like everything switches back and forth. Marketing people.
Caleb Kingpen, I'm sorry that I didn't see you earlier. Thanks so much for pulling up on IG. All right, so this is Rike. One platform to streamline all workflows. It looks like Jira and Asana made a baby.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
It definitely is more Asana leaning. They kind of have a Kanban board. They have a calendar view. They have a chart that shows productivity.
Did you see that the U.S. missile strikes use Kanban boards?
No, I didn't. That's funny.
And it just, oh God. Yeah.
This website is gorgeous. The mobile app looks clean. No. The Rike. I'm sharing the Rike website on. Oh, X Games said what? Oh, he doesn't know the differences. Okay, so I think that is the most important thing to go on a little bit of a journey of discovery is to go like on LinkedIn and then look at like I would put like software design in, and then you're going to see all these different job titles. You're going to see product design. You're going to see UX design. You're going to see user experience. You're going to see user interface design. You're going to see branding. You're going to see front end design. You're going to see illustrations. You're going to see UX writers, right? And it's kind of important to like identify what those job descriptions are and what the people are asked to do. So in user experience, for example, your focus is on user flows and research. UX research is another discipline, but your focus on moving a user through flows in an app. It's a very different life than leading a design system. Like it's something which is something that Jay wants to go into, where Jay has to tap into a decade of branding and also figure out how to create reusable components that can help a company scale, right? So it's kind of like
I love design systems that scale.
Yeah, as do I, but the work is very different. And so the first thing to do is kind of like just to see what the jobs are and what they do, just, you know, read like what the job descriptions are for the jobs, right? And then like say to yourself like, okay, this looks kind of cool. Like, oh wow, UI, like, you know, I draw cartoons, like I have an eye for illustration. I'm comfortable working with vectors and the pen tool, that sort of thing. No, but you know what? I probably can find you let me try to find you an article. Sit tight. Let me see if I can find you an article that explains. The reason I say LinkedIn is because you're also aligning yourself with seeing how much the bag is for each of those different types of job titles. You'll see what a junior is making versus what a senior is making. So let me try to find you an article and see if I can give you some clarity on that. But if you are into cartoons, which is illustration, that would align you pretty easily with brand design, doing UI design, and perhaps going into what Jay does, which is design systems.
I do a lot of things. It's hard.
And thank you for sharing Rike with us, Matt. It looks really cool, actually. All right, so I'm working on some articles for UX Games, and let me try to find one that's relatively comprehensive. This is not it. Animation. There's also designing in the marketing team.
I've done that a lot in the past too. It's fun. Marketers are marketers, so if marketing is your cup of tea.
Do you want Jay to answer first, or do you want me to answer first? Jay, what's your discipline?
I have several. So I like web design. And then I also do design systems, which is what Joy was talking about. So that would be like within an app, like any app that you use, you're going to expect to see the same space around the buttons and around the text. You're going to expect to see the same text size for every headline, stuff like that. And all of that is designed by a system that people will then build the app out with. And so I really like designing the systems that build apps. It's an incredibly like detailed, organized, every layer has to be named type of job. So I know it's not for everyone. If you want to be more creative, or like problem solving, that would be more product design. More creative would be more brand design. And I have done brand design in the past. I like systems design because you kind of need to know everything. You need to know a little bit of illustration in case you're building an icon library or an illustration system, but you also need to know product design because you're designing assets for product designers to use. But you need to know brand design because you're using the brand to design assets for the product designers. So it's like you really have to know a lot of different areas of design for design systems.
Yeah, and if you have not pounded the pavement and done some form of branding, some form of front end design, if you haven't done those things, then you're not equipped to be able to build a design system because you won't understand how the engineers are going to apply those designs app wide or site wide. Thank you. We are supportive. Hello. Because we want you to thrive. We are very supportive of each other. I think that is one of the reasons why Jay and I have had such a deep and lasting friendship is because we're just naturally very supportive. But I think when it comes to creatives, I think creatives have a special place in our heart because it's not easy to be a creative. It's not easy to be an artist. I always speak about, artists are something like less than 2% of the world population. We are so rare. And by nature, that means that usually we end up being outcasts. Usually we have families that don't support our art. Usually we have significant others who don't support our art, that sort of thing. And so we bring a lot of empathy and compassion to this stream and to co-working and to collaborating and to leading teams because Jay and I both lead design teams. That just comes inherent and baked into how we approach, the industry with a lot of compassion. And so, yeah, you came to the right spot, bro. I dropped a link from Indeed that talks about 18 creative jobs in tech. I actually think it's a pretty good article. It even talks about video game design, which is another piece that's super interesting. But there are some marketing jobs in here and then also the digital art jobs. But it's pretty interesting because it also shows you the national average salary. I can also tell you that in every single one of the salaries that they listed here, most of the people that I know that do these jobs make double. So most of the people who are doing creative direction, they're making 200 bands, not 100 bands. Most people that are doing UX design
in tech, they're making 100 bands in any other industry though. And that
For sure. And so that is another thing that we were talking about like once you start getting paid tech money, it's hard to, get 50 or 60 bands in another industry, at a mom and pop shop. Thank you, Spot.
Because I was making more than art directors or creative directors as a senior web designer for a startup. Like, it just isn't comparable. Tech money is monopoly money because they're all funded by VC.
Period. Literally monopoly money. Toomey, thanks for joining. Knowledge, always great to see you. Shout out to everybody in Pittsburgh. Spot, thanks for saying that it's an awesome stream. We have been trying to improve. I think this is probably a good segue for me to plug our socials. Please follow Jay everywhere on the web. Jay has a million handles, but follow Jay on Twitter, on Twitch, on where the fuck else? TikTok. And yeah, support Jay's art and Jay's work. And then to respond to you saying that I am fake mean, I actually am not fake mean. I am actually
like vicious,
intentionally being mean and intentionally being vicious to you because I'm not fucking with you. So I don't have, and let me give you my face, I don't have like a fake bone in my Brooklyn bred body. And so if I am not fucking with you, I can't just like, you're at the party, you're in the club, you're in the room with me. And so I'm not going to toss you, you know what I mean? Or flip you over. I'm not trying to fight. I'm not physical, but I am not fucking with you. So I'm not going to encourage you. And you tend to get really out of hand when you get in your zone. And so I just want to make sure that you are aware that I'm not fucking with you. And that if you get out of line, I'm going to address it in front of the entire room. Okay?
Yeah. As is your right.
Thank you. I'm glad that we made you laugh, X Games. You are now part of our family. And I have a feeling that in 5 years, we're going to all be able to look back at this origin moment and say, this is when X Games decided to go into tech as a designer or an illustrator, blah, blah, blah. And he has built this incredible design system for a dope ass company. So we encourage you to do it. Tech has changed my life. Took me to Paris and back.
Yeah. I didn't go to Paris, but I did buy $300 fairy wings with my first tech paycheck. I'll tell you that. And now that I don't have a tech paycheck, I'm kind of reconsidering all of those superfluous money decisions. No, Spot is just a random person that is in our life. We are not dating Spot. No one is dating Spot. Let's be very clear about this. No one has
ever dated Spot. Nobody would ever date Spot. But no, Spot and I go back to, I worked in the music industry in my past life. Spot is actually a very famous musician. And so we know each other from fucking Brooklyn, from New York, from like Atlantic Records, from the Famous Firm, from like mixtapes and fucking artist showcases and shit like that. And so he feels very comfortable running up in our lives and running up in our streams and talking about the Mexican cartel and fucking trafficking and all this other fuck shit while also trying to bait me into answering his DM at the same time. So yes, there is history, but never, ever, 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 ever dated, Joyce. And never, ever, ever in the future will date.
She'll be saying she fucks with me again.
But if you want,
Spot's choice.
But I accept apologies in the form of gifts and money. I have said this multiple times.
Buy Joy a mouse.
I have a mouse. I don't need a mouse. He's got to do way better than a mouse. Way better. Way
better.
Than
a mouse. A skateboard. It's like a human.
Yo,
mouse.
I got some lit shit. Portia's laughing. I got some lit shit on my wish list. I got tennis racket. I got a new tennis racket on there. I've got a chair. I've got the pegboard.
I play
tennis.
Tennis is close to volleyball, and I went on a date with a couple that's been married for 8 years, but they met playing volleyball on this weekend.
He's like an annoying sibling that also would love to rip my clothes off and fuck me crazy.
Oh,
so
he's
there's
a step
that
bro.
Too. Ugh. Just the thought of it makes me fucking shake.
Hey, step bro.
Look, let me add a couple more things to my Amazon wish list.
She said, hold on.
I do know who you are. That is why I am being so direct with you. I don't want there to be any mixed signals, bro. At all.
She said, respect the shit out of me.
Please. Bro. You said, bro, please respect the shit out of me and respect my boundary because I drew it 10 times. I've drawn the boundary 10 times.
Spot's about to get fired. Who's the mod on this?
Oh my God. You're the mod on this.
I'm not even in the Twitch chat. Shit.
Oh my God.
I'm drawing.
I love it.
What do you want me to do? Monitor the chat or make pretty pictures for you?
Do both, and I'm not eating anything from you.
Okay, I also think that the Instagram stream froze a long time ago.
It does, but it doesn't. Like, it freezes and then it unfreezes, but it doesn't, like, always unfreeze. I don't know. Fuck it. Let me go back into performance mode. That is my wish list. Like, it costs us money to do this stream. And so we take apologies in the form of money, but also
money.
But also anything on that wish list. But anything on that wish list, Jay can also use everything but the Xbox stuff. Anything that's on that list,
true.
buy two.
I'm a PlayStation baddie.
Buy two. You need to send me some. Oh, I can actually invite you to this list so you can add shit. Oh, right. Look, I'm going to link you to it right now. Yeah. I'm going to link you so you can add some stuff to the list, baby. I'm going to send it to you right now.
All the stuff that I want on Amazon is just clothes.
Oh, no clothes.
Config.
Let it be text strip. And I don't have that much stuff on here. Like, just pick like fucking 5 or 10 things. Don't be ridiculous, okay?
I feel like this turned into a lover's quarrel.
You need to fucking
be. It feels like a lover's quarrel, but there ain't no lovers here.
What about trips? What about trips? I already told you I'm not coming to Mexico. I made that very clear. Any other offers that you made me that I was considering are no longer on the table. They are off the table. They will never
Joy's
be
saying
back.
that. I'll take a free trip to Mexico. Let's be very real.
Oh my God.
I just went to Cancun in March.
You will be the first one in the back of the van, and they will try to hold you ransom because you are a lick out here, Jay.
I know, but what you have to understand is that no one will pay for ransom for me. Nobody loves me. I have no parents. I have no... This is not saying that you should kidnap me, because I definitely have people that will come looking for me. But no one got money.
Oh my God. All right, let me add some
Jay,
tennis
stay out
balls
of it.
Shit.
Spot's like, hell no.
I need like...
You came into my stream. Well, Joy's stream. Talking shit. Talking. Wow.
Because sometimes I won't respond to his DM.
My Texan slips out.
So this is the only place that he can get dopamine from me. That's really what it is.
That's some dope shit.
That's really what it is. And I am not with that shit, yo. He also is like a little bit of a cock blocker because, like, come on, I might have somebody I'm really interested in the stream, and here you are making people believe that we having a lovers quarrel. It's ridiculous. All right, I added some tennis balls to the list. Oh, my balls are flat. Oh, my tennis balls are flat. I'm glad that you love my stream.
It's a good stream. This is quality content.
Jey, Elixir. Yo, this shit is looking lit, bro.
Thank you. I want the bottom of the mirror and the top of the mirror to look just as cool. And I feel like there's just a little bit more negative space on the top. So I'm trying to figure out a way to add detail work.
I love this, y'all. I absolutely love this area, y'all. This area right here with like the lotus flower vibe is lit. These like peas are lit with the little feather. And I'm okay with the top of this. I wish it was a little gaudier. But I absolutely love the...
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make it gaudier because I went like really detailed on the top middle and then it just gets less detailed. And so I need to figure out how to fix that.
Okay, but it's still beautiful. You want to maybe take a little break and try to find a nice little sans serif font for aesthetics so that you could maybe send something to your client today?
Yeah, okay. That's probably a good idea.
Because you're already, you're at about like 87% on the mirror.
It's true. Let me share my...
Oh, fuck. Oh, my headset again. I'm so bad. Jey, I'm probably going to lose you again, baby. Fuck. It is not my intent to keep the stream spicy. I like when the stream is PG. All right, give me 2 seconds, guys. I lost audio again because I am not a professional and I don't charge my AirPods. I'm going to pull Jey off the stream for just like 2 seconds while I reset the audio. Hold up, y'all. All right, Jey is resetting their video. So I'm gonna actually take a 5-minute break while Jey is doing that too, so I can have a minute. Oh, X Games, thanks for pulling up, yo. It was so nice to meet you. So nice to meet you. I appreciate you coming by and taking a chance on us, for real. Oh, all right. So Jey's going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to take a 5-minute break too. I will play a little music and then we'll both be back in 5 minutes. We're probably going to wrap within the next half hour, 45 minutes anyway, but enjoy the music. Let me find like a vibe. Let me find a vibe for y'all. Let's do this one. Hi. Hold on a second. Jay, can you hear me? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear me? Oh, I can't hear you, but that's probably my fault. Thanks everybody for sticking around. While we take a little break, all right, Jay, let's try this one more time. I can't hear you, but can you hear me? You can hear me. I can't hear you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's not your fault though, bro. It's my unprofessional AirPod stitch. All right. Thank you for joining again. I appreciate you. And I think I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you for resetting it for me. I appreciate you.
I got you, baby.
So, hi everybody. Thank you for sticking around while we took a little tiny break. I think we're probably gonna wrap within the half hour. We're just kind of finishing things up, and then I'm gonna figure out dinner. Did you want to share your iPad again? Because we've got to reconnect that if you do.
I
if don't. You don't. Huh?
I don't need to share my iPad.
Okay, perfect.
I'm sharing I should be sharing my other screen with you though.
Our FaceTime dropped. So
this is not a FaceTime. This is within Streamlabs.
Oh, I don't even know how to add that source, baby. Yeah, it's not giving me an option. I don't think I can add the source in the middle of the stream. Okay. Is there another way you can share it with me?
Figma.
Facts. All right, let me get Figma open.
I'm also, honestly, I'm tired, Joy.
You sleepy, baby?
I feel like we've been on for 4 hours, and so like switching to like doing thing.
Has it been 4 hours? I love that for us.
Yeah. Well, I don't know when we started, but it's 4:25 now, my time.
So let's wrap. Any final goodbyes? Hey, Misco, thanks for joining.
Thank you for hosting. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I feel like I'm more in your debt, however, because again, like the illustrative work that you're doing is once in a lifetime, unique, bespoke, from your body and your soul, like tapped into some higher interdimensional fucking
You see
shit.
how nice she treats me? How am I
And
supposed to
so-
find someone to love when I get this treatment from my best friends?
And so the fact that we are able to not only share it together, you and me, and be us the way we are on FaceTime, but also having all these beautiful strangers, all these beautiful people from the web, watching you create this is really once in a lifetime. And I'm so glad that you allow me to stream and record and share everything that we've been working on. So I love you. I appreciate you. The work is beautiful. Thank you everybody for pulling up. I'm going to throw our socials up one more time.
Yeah, socials.
Please, socials. Yeah, please follow me on Insta, Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. I am Joi Jetson, JoiJetson. Jay is Jey Austen on Insta, and Figma Antichrist on Twitter, and Jay Creates on Twitch and TikTok.
Real.
Okay.
Real.
I think
I need to get some brand consistency.
I think I'm gonna push Jay to switch Twitch and TikTok to Jey Austen. If anybody wants to vote a thumbs up, I think Figma Antichrist on Twitter is a vibe until Figma pisses Jay off, which is not happening anytime soon.
Well, I don't know. Figma doesn't follow me anymore. I might just change my name to Jey Austen, but
it might be a vibe. If you guys think it's a good idea, follow us and, mention us and tell us that you want Jay to be Jey Austen everywhere, and this whole card can be redesigned. Just imagine.
Thank you, Spot, for tuning in. We give you shit, but we appreciate your view.
We do. X Games, thanks for pulling up. And Matt, thank you for being so kind and loving and supportive and for sharing everything. Thank you, Sean Charles, for retweeting our stream, and everybody else on Twitter, everybody on IG, everybody on where? Yo, so did we stream on Twitch?
Did we?
Not Twitch, TikTok. So you gotta figure out.